Question 1. Based on the lover's decision and actions in the short story, answer the following question. A. What can be inferred about the princess' feeling toward the young man's fate? State the evidence from the story. The princess is worried about the young man as she couldn't focus on other things in her life, but only about the young man's fate, which is only life or death. This can be proved with, from the moment that the decree had gone forth, that her lover should decide his fate in the king's arena, she had thought of nothing, night or day, but this great event and the various subjects connected with it. Besides, the princess' feeling toward the young man's fate can be inferred as possessiveness. She wants to control the fate of her lover, which is the young man, as much as she possesses herself to learn and study how to identify either tiger or a woman will behind the door. The evidence is possessed of more power, influence, and force of character than anyone who had ever before been interested in such a case. She had done what no other person had done. She had possessed herself of the secret of the doors. Last but not least, the princess also feels jealous as she didn't want the lady to be married to the young man. She had often seen the lady to have interaction with the young man, and she had started to feel jealous since then. The proof of it is, it was one of the fairest and loveliest of the damsels of the court who had been selected as the reward of the accused youth, should he be proved innocent of the crime of aspiring to one so far above him, and the princess had hated her. This is the answer for question 1A.
Okay, hi, so today I'll be answering question 1B. So in your opinion, state two things that the man has learned by the end of the short story. Provide evidence for your answer. So my answer would be the power of the princess's influence. By the end of the story, the young man realizes that his life depends entirely on the princess's choice and he has no control over his fate. When he looks up to her in the arena, he places absolute trust in her judgment. The story describes how he looked at her as he had looked at her in days past, showing that he continues to rely on her even in this life or death situation. His willingness to choose the door she signals reflects the deep faith he has in her, but it also shows that he understands the power she wields over him, whether it leads to his life or death. My second answer would be the unpredictability of fate. The young man also learns that his fate is uncertain and even his love for the princess cannot guarantee his survival. In the arena, he's forced to face the reality that he has no control over what happens next. The randomness of the doors, one leading to death and the other to marriage, emphasizes how powerless he is in this situation. Evidence of this comes from the story's ambiguous ending, where this young man's fate depends entirely on the princess's decision and the door he opens. The lesson here is that life is unpredictable and sometimes even trust in love cannot protect a person from the harshness of fate. Thank you.
Be talking about question 2A and B. At the end of The Lady or the Tiger, the story does not reveal what comes out of the door. Based on your understanding of the events and clue in the text, state your prediction of what happens next. I predict that the tiger comes out of the door, the young man opens, and he is killed. This is mostly due to the princess' complex feelings of jealousy and her internal conflict. For question 2B, provide evidence. The princess's mind was consumed with thoughts of what might happen if a lover opened the wrong door and was forced to marry the lady. She repeatedly envisioned the overwhelming joy he would feel when he stepped into the arena and was greeted by the lady, full of beauty and triumph. She imagined how his face would light up as he approached her, his heart filled with happiness while the crowd cheered. The bells rang and music played in celebration. The very thought of seeing him experience such joy and walking away with the woman he was now married to filled the princess with intense anguish. She imagined the whole scene vividly: his happiness, the bride's flushed cheeks, the triumph glance exchanged between them, and the crowd shouting with joy. All of this made the princess' heart burn with jealousy and grief. She saw them leave together, their path covered with flowers, as the crowd cheered and celebrated. And as they disappeared into the distance, the princess would be left behind in a bitter state of despair, unable to share in their joy.
Hi. The reasoning for the answer is the princess' intense jealousy and emotional trauma dominate her thoughts. The vivid image of her lover's joy as he marries the lady, the triumphant glances, the crowd's cheers, and their celebratory departure fills her with unbearable anguish. She cannot bear the thought of him finding happiness with someone else, while she is left behind in despair. Her barbaric nature, inherited from her ancestors, amplifies her possessiveness, making it nearly impossible to accept such a fate. In her mind, the pain of seeing him belong to another woman by directing him to the tiger, she ensures that he will never be with another lady, keeping him in symbolically hers. She rationalizes this dark decision by imagining a future where they could reunite in an afterlife, free from the torment of their current circumstances. This reasoning aligns with her internal conflict where jealousy and possessiveness overpower love, making the tiger more likely the choice. Thank you.